Once again, we had Ukraine's president, who's been leading this war effort in this country for now 5 years now. He's asking for a fixed date for Ukraine to join the European Union. Is this realistic at all?
And I think that he is suggesting that that date could be as early as next year, 2027. Now, if Ukraine were to join the European Union according to the accession procedure that all countries up till now have had to follow, meeting various stringent criteria, then it's absolutely not realistic for Ukraine to join in 2027 and probably not in the next 5 years, especially not considering that EU officials have been complaining actually that in recent months Ukraine has made very little progress on the reforms that it's supposed to be already putting in place in order to prepare for joining the EU. But a new kind of EU accession has been mooted. Some are calling it reverse accession. Ursula von der Leyen, the EU Commission President, who's in Kiev, is in favour of basically the idea being that the country, Ukraine in this case, would join the European Union officially with the ceremony and all the rest of it, even before the criteria are met, and then gradually, as various criteria are met, would gain access to the various benefits of EU membership, membership of the Common Agricultural Policy, access to cohesion funds, perhaps voting rights would not immediately all be conferred on the new country. Proponents of this idea say that it would draw a line in the sand, pass a point of no return, show that Ukraine is on its way westward, whatever Russia thinks or wants, and basically thereby allow Ukraine to start its reform process once within the European Union, or continue it. Those who are against it say that it would reduce the level of motivation for the Ukrainian authorities to pursue the necessary reforms, and also that it would deprive other European countries of the possibility of negotiating in terms of what they're prepared to accept in order for Ukraine to join Poland as a country that's particularly concerned, although broadly pro-Ukrainian, about the prospect of its very large neighbour suddenly joining the bloc. And Radoslaw Sikorski, the Polish foreign minister, who's also in Kiev, has been saying that he thinks the date of 2027 is absolutely not realistic at all.
Gulliver, let's talk about negotiations to end this conflict, because we know that the U.S. President Donald Trump wants Ukraine to make concessions. The country's President Volodymyr Zelensky says that's not going to happen. You're in Kharkiv at this pivotal point in the conflict. What are ordinary Ukrainians telling you when it comes to concessions?
Most people I've spoken to have said that they don't think Ukraine should make any concessions. They don't think that it's morally acceptable, but more importantly, they don't think it would work. And Volodymyr Zelensky spelled that out in one of his most recent interviews. He doesn't think that giving up that part of Donbass, which Ukraine still controls and which Vladimir Putin seems to be making a condition for any peace agreement, would actually bring peace. He thinks that the Russians wouldn't stop there. They want to dominate the whole of Ukraine. That's the majority view in Ukraine. But if you look at opinion polls, the percentage of people who think that Ukraine should give up territory in order to get peace is gradually increasing. But the point there is that, yes, many more people would agree to give up territory in order to get peace if they really were going to get peace. And I think that the Ukrainian government would argue, kindly and understandingly perhaps, but they would argue that those who are saying that we should give up territory in order to get peace are simply mistaken, because it wouldn't deliver the desired effect.
Gulliver, thank you very much for that. Gulliver Cragg reporting there for us from